this feels like an interview, right? Well, it kind of is. Tell me why this is like so freaking nerve-wracking. My name is Erka, and I'm gonna be talking to you guys about when I became pregnant. Damn it. I became pregnant at the age of 17. It was about January 2010. Well, I went to Soledad High, right? And basically everybody like knew each other right there. It's like living in this town, it's like so small, everybody knows each other. I remember it was like the new year, right? And it was January, my birthday had just came up, and I didn't know the guy. I never even knew that he existed. But I remember that for my birthday, like, you know, you're on Facebook and you get like all kinds of comments like happy birthday Erika, happy birthday this, happy birthday that. And well, my son's dad, he commented on he commented on something, or from that we started talking, right? Started like in the DM, slide through the DM, and this was in January, right? So then kept on talking and talking, and it was like so consistent, you know, day and night. Talk on the phone too, I think. I don't really remember, but he ended up asking me to be his girlfriend in February 8th 2009. So, and I said yeah. We were in a little old car, and I remember that, you know, it was raining outside, and I think he was going in for a kiss, or I was going in for a kiss, or something like that. I was going in for a kiss because I broke the little mirror that's in front, the one that you see back. Probably like a month later, I lost my virginity. I remember that we went to Planned Parenthood, and I had gotten like pills, put it under like my bras and all that in my little drawer for my lingerie that was taking me to college, right? I was still in high school, but I wanted to take some courses to get ahead. We were going in, and my dad got a call on his phone, and it was my mom, and she told him, she's like, come back home right now. But no, it's like this smile, like no, she wasn't even smiling, right? She's like, come back home right now, like come back home. And my dad's like, why, what's going on? He's like, I found something in her drawer. I found some birth control pills. My dad like looked at me, and right away, like, you know, I guess he kind of gave me the, like the look like, oh, my daughter. My daughter. Birth control pills. Sex. Probably one of the worst days in my books. We went back home, and I was in the room like crying to her, and she was telling me, you know, I'm gonna put a restraining order on him. And my mom slapped me. She slapped me right across the face. So I slapped her back. I regret slapping my mom. I have never been in a fight, so for me to like, for somebody to like slap me, and that was like my first actual ever slap in my whole entire life, like my first initial reaction was to slap her back, and I did that. She called the cops. My mom called the cops when she found those birth control pills. She called the cops, and she told me, she's like, you're never going back to school. Guess when you're that young, you don't really know what you're doing, right? At least not me. I didn't get pregnant on the first time. My relationship with him was like on and off, like consistently. Like during the week we'd be together, and during the weekend we would be out of mind, out of sight. Like it was kind of bad, because I kind of figured that out in the end, like, you know, gee, I wonder why he's only with me during the week and not during the weekend, you know. I guess it was kind of better than being cheated on, even though I got cheated on a lot of times. My relationship with him was kind of like bad to some extent. Like, even some people would even see like the way I was being treated and whatnot, unfortunately. And you would have thought like, oh my god, like, girl, like, why didn't you just leave him from like the very beginning, you know? But you live and you learn. You're so young, you just don't know where your life is headed. And sometimes when you're in high school, you think it's like the end of the world. Now we're gonna go fast forward a little bit. We still continue to date, and you know, I started getting like closer to his family. You know, along came fall 2010, and I remember that I was gonna be a senior already during that time. I had just had like 3 months in the cheerleading team, so I was like pretty excited, right? My senior year, I'm gonna go off to college, I'm gonna live the life, I'm gonna get my degree, so on and so forth. Like 2 months into school, so it was August, September, October, and you know, I was cheering, da 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 da, and then all of a sudden one day, like, I woke up and I was hella craving wings. I remember I went to the store to go get wings, and I called him, my baby daddy. I'm like, hey, like, I'm gonna go to the store, get some wings. My mom had also sent me to get like other things. He told me, you know, like, go get a pregnancy test instead of wasting that money on wings. I'm like, no. I thought nothing of this, like, of being pregnant. Like, no, I'm not pregnant. And called me and he said, you know, come to my house. I'm gonna go get a pregnancy test. Come to my house and you're gonna take it in front of me. I was like, oh gosh. He had me take a pregnancy test in front of him. I waited 3 minutes, and during those 3 minutes I thought, wow, what a waste of money. Like, I could have bought myself some more wings. 3 minutes passed by and I was crying when I found out that I was pregnant, and all I could think about was like, wow, like, my life has changed. Like, from this moment on, it has changed, and how am I going to tell my parents? He said, don't worry, I'm always going to be here for you guys. And he had a big smile on his face. Me telling my parents, me telling my mom, yeah, I didn't exactly tell her. I was in my room and I called my mom, and I remember during this time that I was gonna tell her, like, my aunt from Mexico was at the house, so it kind of made it a little bit better because my mom likes to keep the problems of our family, like, you know, private. I called her to my room, and at that time I already had like one nephew, so he was in my room, and I asked my mom to come, and I told her to close the door, and she was kind of like in a rush doing stuff, and she's like, what happened? And I just started crying. I just looked at my mom crying, and she's like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, Erica, what's going on? But in Spanish, right? I just looked at her, and I looked at my nephew, and I looked at her while tears were going down my eyes, and right then and there, my mom knew. I didn't talk to my dad for like about a week or so. I was just like so embarrassed. And the only words he said to me were, congratulations. I just said. So I really missed out like on my high school experience. I would only go to like 3 classes. I had like a low blood platelets, so I remember my due date was just around like my graduation ceremony time. And on the 1st of June, I went to the hospital. I gave birth like a champ. 2 days later, I came back to school like a champ. You know, 14 days later, I graduated, and a day later, I moved back to my parents, and I was a single mom. Life happens, guys, right? The most important thing is that I'm here today. My son is healthy, I'm healthy, and we have each other, and he's 6 years old. He has such a tremendous energy, and he makes me feel like a kid. Like, me and him will probably look like little brother and sister, like at the store if you ever see us. Like, I want to give him the best childhood experience ever, and the best future too. So that is all for my story. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, if you enjoyed just watching this little piece of my life, just go ahead and give it a thumbs up, like, comment, share, whatever, and subscribe.